Hello, hello. Welcome to the LFC Transfer Room live stream. Coming off a huge must win against the Spurs. This is your post match recap. I'm Rigo, today joined by Damo here. Just wow, nerve wracking there, right?
Awful, absolutely awful. But it's exactly what we needed, isn't it? I mean, this win, this is the win that we needed to really push on now. I think just for the nerves and for the confidence as well. And it shuts a lot of Tottenham fans, especially one. I mean, expressions. He said the other day about us wanting a chupa chup lolly because we suck. Oh, how the tides have turned, eh? How the tides have turned, my friend. Whilst we're
Wow.
chupa chup, whilst we're chupa chups expressions, you're Evian with all your bottle. Because you ain't a big club and you ain't in the top six. You stay in your lane, and it's not a White Hart lane. Stay back.
Wow, what a win! Definitely needed. We've lost the past 2 weeks in the Premier League, even though we've mixed in some Champions League wins there. Starting the day off in 10th place, and we're back up to 8th place there. Coming off that huge win against the Tottenham Hotspurs there. What were your thoughts on the match there, Damo? I thought we started pretty well, but it got really tight there at the end. What were your thoughts there, at least starting off in the first half?
Yeah, first half brilliant. First half we were back to his best, weren't we? Especially the first 10, 15 minutes. I mean, we came out of the traps and Tottenham didn't know what to do, did they, first half? They were just backing off. And then second half, we sort of went back into ourselves a little bit, allowed Tottenham to have the ball. They did punish us in the end in terms of getting the goal, and they could have easily got an equaliser towards the end. But I think we just did nothing that first half, and for the majority of the game, I think we just looked more like ourselves, and that's much more like it.
Yeah, definitely. It was a tale kind of chances missed there. Salah was able to bury both chances there in the second half that he was given. Great assist by Darwin Nunez to set him up for the first goal, and that defensive miscue by Eric Dyer to kind of give him the free path at Lloris for that second goal. But that Perisic missed definitely huge let off there. We almost tied up 1-1 there. How big was that miss by Perisic?
Huge, absolutely huge. I mean, him and then that one at the end where Kane flicked it on as well. I mean, they were there queuing up at the back post. It all took us a nick and you're in. I think I won't say we got away with it. I think Tottenham just didn't come out of the traps, and it's their own fault. I think at the end of the day, I think we deserved the win over the 90 minutes. So saying getting away with it as well is not really the truth. But in the end, we did get away with not letting another one, but we didn't get away with the result because I think we deserved it over the 90 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. The first half was fairly even aside from those two goals, but that second half really scary there. I thought we were on the back foot for the most part, apart from a couple of long balls to Nunez there. Where do you think we kind of went askew in the second half there? Where did we lose control? What were the key points there that you saw?
I just don't think we came out with the same intensity, and I think that's what it was. The first half we were just on every ball. We were pressing all the time. We won every second ball. Second half, it just seemed to be switch over, and I think Tottenham sort of woke up a little bit as well, which didn't help. We went a bit defensive towards the 20 minutes left with the clock bringing Gomez on. I don't like that. I don't like going defensive. I always want to go get another goal because with it only takes one chance, and it's in with. I mean, look at the end, that bit where Trent ran upfield and Gomez caught sleeping. That was nearly a goal as well. That was literally like 2 seconds left. So, yeah, I think it was just the intensity, and we got it done in the end, didn't we? That's all that matters. I think Tottenham needs to take this out of this result of more than what we do. I think we just move on now to Southampton, get another 3 points. Tottenham, they're just shit, aren't they?
So, so as Haler pointed out there, this is quite surprisingly and disappointingly our first away win in the Premier League this season. I think much needed, as we kind of said earlier there, and to kind of get us on the right track heading into this World Cup break. We have one more match there at the weekend, going against Southampton, who just fired their manager Ralph Hasenhüttl. But there. Well, one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about there, where I found myself getting frustrated, especially in the second half where we lost control of the match, was I felt we were a little bit too late with the subs, and also the subs that did come on kind of put us in more of hot water than the opposite. They came in, started fires instead of putting them out. Especially in my opinion, Henderson. I thought Henderson was just absolutely awful coming into this cameo. What were your thoughts there as far as Klopp's management of the subs?
I think those substitutions sum up what's wrong with Liverpool at the moment. In terms of the subs are wrong, but also the personnel. Like Curtis Jones in as good as he ain't going to pick up trees. Henderson just can't make a forward pass. He honestly can't make a forward pass. He can pass it sideways, backwards, spot on. But as soon as he passes it forward, he can't find a Liverpool shirt. Honestly, it's like I don't know if someone takes his eyes out before he passes forward because he just shuts his eyes passing forward. Or he's scared of passing forward because going forward he can't do it. He can't do it, and it costs us chances. There was that time when was it Curtis Jones were running through, like it could have been like 3-on-2 or something like that, and then make a quick ball. If he'd make that quick ball, he couldn't get out his feet, and it was such an easy pass as well. It was such an easy thing to control, and he just couldn't. Honestly, I nearly had TV down. I nearly had TV down at that point.
Yeah, he kind of dribbled right into Basuma there and killed that counter and let the Spurs.
You're trying to copy Anthony. You're trying to copy Anthony in the middle of the pitch, and it just don't work. But yeah, I think that's those substitution personnel and the subs from. I don't understand what Klopp's doing with Carvalho either. So I think Carvalho should have come on that game, especially at the end. If you're going to bring Salah off and bring Ox on, that makes no sense. And Curtis Jones, I'd have put Carvalho on just for a bit of pace on the counter. I think that's where the counter was missing. Even the commentators were saying where's the counter attack gone? Because we brought up the pace. We brought Nunez off. Salah came off in the last minute or something. But put Carvalho on, you're not missing that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain what's going on with Carvalho there. He hasn't appeared that much off the bench in these past run of matches. I'm not sure if he's hurt or it's just strategic at this point. But as Hader kind of pointed out, I know we tend to drift into a little bit in a negative state there. But with that first away win, and now kind of looking up at the table within the top 10 as opposed to being in 10th place, we kind of have to take the positives out of this match. And as far as the positives are concerned, I think that double pairing of Darwin and Salah is just really, really just kicking on right now. What did you think of the two striker formation up top?
They're brilliant, aren't they? They're brilliant. If just Darwin Nunez had a little bit of confidence, a little bit of composure in front of goal, that could be the best duo we've had since Torres and Gerrard.
I feel like time is kind of his enemy. If he has a little bit too much time there, he's a little bit, instead of just letting instincts take over, I think he's thinking too much on there.
He's got a good strike with him, but he's just not clinical with it. I think 9 times out of 10 he'll hit the keeper or something like that, or he'll hit the post, and he hit the bar, didn't he? Was it offside that chance? Wasn't it that hit the bar? But it was a good shot.
Yeah, it was barely offside there with his left foot there. But what thing we kind of have seen from him in these past few matches, apart from scoring goals, of course, is he is looking for Salah. I know he had that one big blunder there a few weeks back where he could have played Salah on and possibly got us another goal. But I think he's actively looking for Salah, and I think they're both building on their chemistry there. One thing I kind of saw, and I know it has to do a lot with what we have available as far as personnel, is Nunez would get that big breakaway and tear apart from the defense, but then he'd have to wait 5 seconds for the rest of the team to kind of catch up. And I feel there could have been a few more opportunities there to go on goal if he had a little bit more support. Do you think is that dude mainly just to not having Diaz or Jota available and having more slow players in the form of Firmino, Elliott, and Thiago kind of backing him up?
That's what it is, isn't it? I mean, the lack of pace that we have at the moment. Like you said, Firmino's not the fastest. Elliott's not the fastest. They're good on the ball, good trickery, good quick feet, but they ain't got quick legs. They've got quick feet, but not quick legs. And when Nunez is that fast, only Salah can keep sort of pace with him. And if Salah's marked out by 2-3 players, you've got no chance. So you're going to have to hold it up. I think that's where Nunes needs to work on his hold-up play because he is so fast compared to the others. He's going to have to do that quite a lot, hold-up play. I think when Diaz comes back, I think that could change it a little bit because obviously Diaz is rapid as well. So I'd like to see our formation with Diaz because Klopp's on about playing Nunes and Salah as the front two. Where does Diaz fit into that?
Yeah, I think probably once we're back at full strength and have our top players, especially Diaz back, we'll probably revert back to that 4-3-3 and just having Darwin as the tip of the spear there up ahead, which will obviously allow him to make those runs in and be more the focal point instead of waiting around and trying to make things happen, playing on the left there as one of two strikers. Going from Nunez, we have to give it up to King Mo. Mo Salah definitely received a lot of criticism, both from outside and inside the LFC family, as far as either his positioning, his finishing, and his production. And in these past few weeks, coming especially off that substitute appearance against the Rangers, they're scoring that hat trick. He's been absolutely on fire. I just want to run off a couple of stats there for you guys. Obviously, he scored those 2 goals on a total of 3 shots. His passing numbers were outstanding today, completing 32 passes out of 39 for 82% completion percentage. And his shot accuracy, 3 out of 3. He scored 2, and that third one was on target as well. I think definitely Salah has, being shifted a little bit more centrally due to obvious needs personnel-wise. I think it's bringing out the best in him. I think those balls over the top, he's available now for Alisson to kind of pick out. Now Darwin and Salah are there to make those runouts. And that ability being more central, I think, made that error from Eric Dyer. So definitely very positive news to take away from these last run of matches as far as his form and his pairing with Darwin, don't you think?
I think if he rubbed his confidence off onto Darwin, I think we would be absolutely fire. That's the problem. I think Salah, you can tell his confidence is back, and it's really showing now because that anticipated ball over the top to when Dyer made that mistake, that was only a confident player would make. He knew it. I didn't knew he was going to make a mistake, but he knew if he did make a mistake, he's right behind it. I think Darwin would have held back on that. But Salah, he just knew it was going to happen. And that finish as well, that second finish. I know that first team goal was a very good team goal, very good move. But that second goal that finish was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And this is the player now we're talking about, Mohamed Salah. This is the player that you're talking is pushing for Thierry Henry's best Premier League player ever. It's as simple as that. This guy has been doing it for years and years. He's not been at his best this season, but look at his numbers. Look at it. Look how he's creating chances. Look how he's scoring goals. Look how he's taking the chances. Big games as well. Big games. Like he likes of Henry, didn't do it in big games. Big difference.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and disparage anything Thierry Henry. I'll sing Salah's praises all day, but Henry was something special there. But just to add to Tottenham's misery today, Arsenal came out with a victory as well. At least in my book, I'm happier to see Arsenal up at the top of the table than Man City. But
I don't want cheats win that league. Don't want cheats. I'd rather anyone.
Yeah, that what a dive by KDB yesterday that earned that pen. That was just absolutely horrendous. I don't think it was deserved. Kind of in the same mode that Jesus won a pen against us in that Arsenal match to get them to win. I think those blatant dives. You don't look like you get shot when just a little boot in the back of the heel. But just wanted to talk a little bit more as far as the rest of the team. What do you think as far as our midfield today? How did they perform? That the 3-headed prong of Thiago, Fabinho, and Elliott. What do you think of our midfield today?
I think Fabinho is looking more like himself as well. Last couple of games, I did it against Napoli, didn't he? It was quite decent against Napoli. Thiago just bossing it as per. I mean, he's just one of the sexiest players I've ever watched play football in terms of the play football. Not on that way, but you know what I'm saying.
Hey, yeah, when you make passes like that are a thing of beauty, yeah, you can call them sexy. That's absolutely to be
exactly
forgiven.
That. It is smoother than butter, and he is smoother than butter. And he's the player that you want to go pay and watch. is Thiago. And Elliott, again, quite solid, really. His passing, his link-up play is really improving, especially with the forwards. And that's key in a game like this, because when Tottenham pack 7 buses, you're going to need that link-up play to create space. And that's where Elliott comes in. And if we had someone like Henderson there, we wouldn't have got that, because Henderson's too rigid, is too looking forward, is too looking backwards and sideways. Elliott was key in terms of breaking Tottenham down today, and that's why it created space out wide, because they had to cope in the middle bit. But yeah, much better for midfield today, much better.
Still, yeah. What Thiago, just to throw a couple of passing stat numbers there. In the first half, he actually completed 42 out of 43 passes for 98, but on the match, he ended up with 61 out of 67 for 91%. Definitely offers up so much more control in that midfield and such a calming presence. And I think both him and Elliott offer that I don't think, when Henderson's out there or, Milner perhaps when he has started give us that same kind of ability and calmness on the ball and potential to create offensive chances. One thing I also kind of liked was the aggressiveness that they showed. Both of them, took a couple of shots from outside the box trying to test Lloris, and I think that's something definitely positive that we can look at. We should be trying to, take our chances when available. If you have a shot side on goal, by all means, take that shot. Just because that next time the defense will press up a little more, perhaps, and that'll offer up more space to our more advanced players. I think that's one thing that I definitely noticed this match, both Thiago and Elliott trying to take their chances from outside the box. So I was very happy with that.
That's what it is. There's times where we don't know what we're doing in the last third. And today, like you said, taking shots from outside the box, there was opportunities to do that. And then sometimes we just haven't been doing that. We've been trying to pass it in, and it don't work like that. And they weren't bad shots, they just got blocked. They weren't bad shots, they weren't the one that Henderson did the other week where he skied up a bite last second. It wasn't away. It was decent shots, decent strikes. They just got blocked. But it's a shame we don't have Steven Gerrard in it for that.
It's a shame. What? I'm sorry.
It's a shame we don't have Steven Gerrard for those.
For sure, that'd be amazing. Or someone who could bury a shot like Yuri Tielemans did yesterday. Just absolute screamer. I still don't think he's a match for us, but that shot was otherworldly. I got to give him credit for that. Continuing, highlighting the positive notes out of this match is one player that we've missed for quite a while. And once he is on the field, it allows 2 of our star players to play to their best, in my opinion. And that would be our Frenchman Ibrahim Konate. How big was he this match, and how huge is he to have in the lineup? I think he absolutely gives Trent the license to move forward a little bit and be a little bit more positive on the offensive side of the ball, and his aggressiveness allows Virgil van Dijk to sit off and be the best Virgil he can be, which is being in the right place at the right time. What were your thoughts on Ibrahim?
Man of the match for me. Man of the match for me. I know Salah got it, and other people have said Salah, but Konate just headed everything away. Absolutely everything away. I mean, Kane, he's put Kane to bed. I mean, he's read Kane a nighttime story. He's given him his teddy bear, and he's put him to sleep today. And he better enjoy his sleep before they come out of that top 4 race, because Tottenham ain't lasting up there. Not a chance. They're terrible. Absolutely terrible. And going back to Konate, this lad's special, and he is the next, I won't say next Virgil van Dijk, but he's the next one we need to rely on, like Virgil van Dijk we did. Is one to build around that defence. Is Konate is absolute beast. Is a tank, and he bullied Trent today. He did. Not Trent, sorry. He bullied Kane. It's not hard to bully Trent, though, is it? But yeah, it allowed Trent to do what he needs to do, and Virgil still went amazing today, but he didn't have to be because of Konate, which is brilliant, because when Virgil's not on it and your other centre-back's shite like Gomez, then that's why you lose. If your Virgil's not on it, then your other centre-back needs to pick up the pieces, and that's what Konate, exactly what he did. He intercepted everything, he cleared everything, and that's all you ask for a centre-back.
Yeah, it seems he's able to get ahead on everything, and he's very, very rarely overmatched on either power wise or speed wise from any attacking player. But definitely he had to do a lot of cleaning up after Trent there. We saw them absolutely picking us apart with those long diagonal passes over the top. I'm not sure it's so much a positioning issue with Trent or not having enough coverage from the midfield as well to kind of assist them, but I think Trent, definitely got saved a couple of times there, and there was that one penalty shot that for pushing Raya Sessegnon in the back there. What do you think of Trent's performance today?
He was slightly better defensively, but like you said, he's naive. He's very naive, and he doesn't look behind him. He doesn't look behind him, and there's countless times where he finds himself too far forward, and or he's exposed, or he just loses the runner because he's just not paying attention. I don't know if it's just lack of awareness, but as a defender, he should have that. He should have that intact, and his awareness as a player is unbelievable because he can spray passes everywhere. So he's got the awareness of the pitch. He's not the awareness behind him sometimes, and it can cost us. Like I said, we're thankful for Konate for picking up everything today. Absolutely everything. When Virgil went on it, he picked his side up, and if Trent went on it, he picked his side up. But Trent was slightly better at defending today, just sometimes a bit too naive. His forward passing though is just ridiculous. It's out of this world.
Yeah, he found. Let me just put this comment back up there. Yeah, he found Darwin Nunez at least 3 to 4 times with those long diagonals, just absolutely setting him free, where Darwin had to wait up for the rest of the team as well. But yeah, definitely with Konate is the best pairing, I think, obviously for Virgil as well as for Trent. He definitely, allows Trent to kind of have those mistakes without them biting us in the butt that much. But one thing I want to know is definitely that positioning needs some work as far as Trent is concerned. If he's not going to have that help from the midfielder, either Elliott or Jordan, then he definitely needs to be more mindful and not, the Brian Sessegnon was pretty much hugging the line and had a whole 20 yards between him and Trent, and that's just way too much ground to cover. I feel those balls over the top, Trent has a little bit of an issue on. And as noted in the comments there, when he is beat, he has a tendency to kind of shove a player. So sooner or later, it might end up, biting us. But overall, I think he played a pretty good match. I was a little bit surprised considering that we did see Calvin Ramsey make an appearance in the Champions League midweek, that he didn't see a run out there for at least 15 to 20 minutes just to. But
I think he would have. I think he would have if it stayed 2-0 because it stayed 2-1. He couldn't afford to have him on there just for the inexperience and a player like that at such a young age in a game like that. We touch on it as well because we needed that win more than anything. I think shoving Calvin Ramsey in there could have really hurt us because I think he could have had a mistake just because of nerves alone. Not saying he's not good enough, just for nerves alone.
Away match, first Premier PL appearance, definitely. Yeah, I might be a little naive in thinking he could come in as well. I think if we had made it 3-0, something like that, definitely, right. I think. But it being so tight the entire second half, and once Kane, got them on the scoreboard there, I think, we were all biting our nails. I don't have any to speak of, but
I've just got my boxers next to me just in case I needed to change them. You see.
Oh man, very, very, very heart pumping there at the end, and just absolute nerves. I had about 3 cups of coffee, and I don't think that was the wisest decision.
Sometimes what? Watching Tottenham, sometimes you need coffee, don't you? But at least we played in this match, so.
So kind of going back to 2 points in the match there. The substitutes that we have currently, just do you feel bad for Klopp at this point? Because we may get on him as far as making his subs, but he doesn't even have a forward really to bring on at this point to even switch things up.
like we say, what is he supposed to do? He does make mistakes with his substitutions. He makes mistakes with his tactics. He makes mistakes with his formations. Makes mistakes with his players that he even starts. But at the end of the day, look what he's got to choose from. The celebrations. People in Britain will know that the celebrations, Christmas boxes, getting rid of bounties. Unfortunately, Klopp's got like a bench full of bounties, and I think FSG need to take a page out of Celebration's book is to get rid of those bounties and start putting Mars bars in. You know, Maltesers, something like that, because when you open a box of Celebrations, you don't want to see five bounties at the top, and that's what Klopp's seen. He's opened a box of Celebrations on Christmas Day. Oh, I can't wait to have these. All bounties. It feels sick. It feels sick. I'd feel sick looking around at that bench. But then again, he's not using Carvalho as well. When he has got a Mars bar on the bench, he's not eating him anyway. So
that gives me reason to think. I think something's going on with Fabio, and he's making the match roster just because we need to list somebody. We can't have 4 goalies on the bench. So I definitely think something's going on. I'd be curious to see if they ask him in the post-match press conference as far as Fabio's status there, because I definitely think he should have came on if available for Firmino. I think Bobby had I wouldn't say one of his worst matches, but I definitely don't think he was on his game today. A lot of passes that he normally makes were just off of it. I think perhaps we're at the danger point, just because of what's available, that we're going to run Bobby into the ground, even though he's had such a tremendous season. What'd you think of Bobby's performance today, Demo?
Like I said, I think the danger thing. I think it's dangerous to think that he's really a first teamer anymore. I know he's had some time this season. He's been brilliant. He's either been brilliant or absolutely despicable, and he's been more despicable than he has been brilliant, it's a shame really, because this is a player that we built our system around, and he just isn't that player anymore. We've got to, just because he scores a few against Bournemouth and a few against whoever else, doesn't mean that he's good enough to make the first team. I think he's got lucky with regards of the injuries. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be in that first team. And we need to start acting like it's a first team player, because he's not really up to the standard as consistently. He'll have his off games where he's unbelievable, best player on pitch, but it doesn't happen every week, and it certainly doesn't happen every month at this rate.
Yeah, I think we're just running him too much, and again, that's just because we don't have much other option there. Bobby's I think he's been starting way too many matches and playing too many minutes, so I think that'll just lead to down, that roller coaster of performances as well. His passing, actually, just taking a look at the numbers, he wasn't too bad, completing 21 out of 26 for 81%. But the striking thing is playing in that, kind of attacking midfield role behind Salah and Nunez. He ended the match with 0 chances created, and that's not the Bobby we know. As we all know, Bobby always looks to create a chance for others as opposed to shooting himself, and that's a surprising stat to me, that 0 chances created on the match. And again, I just think we're just running him out there too much and not giving him enough.
Although we did play quite wide today, which was good. We used Trent and Robbo a lot in the attacks, and that helped. But like you said, Bobby, that's just not the Bobby we're used to seeing, and he isn't the Bobby we're used to seeing. He's not long. He'll have, like I said, he'll have the mod games against Bournemouth and against other teams. Where he had a sensational game earlier on the season. I can't think who it was against. It was after the Bournemouth game. I can't think who it was against. But anyway, it's odd game now, and it's not good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, but just before we kind of close the page on the Bobby talk there, I just want to throw it out for you. I'm of the mind that we should re-sign him, at least for 1 more, if not 2 more seasons. I think he definitely has something to offer, especially in more reduced capacity as far as minutes are concerned. Are you of the mind that we should extend Bobby, or we need to kind of just fill in with someone outside, or?
It's such a tough one, because he's a much better player than like Milner and Nelson, and those are the ones that I don't want to keep at the club as well. So, but I'd let him go, honestly. I'd let him go. I think we can get someone else in, and as much as we need to shape up this midfield, this forward line needs a little bit of a kick as well. I mean, you've got Diaz, Nunez, and Jota, and then Salah's not going to be young forever. You know what I'm saying? He needs a little bit of a kick up the arse. I think, like Kartik, is it Kartik? Yep. Says there, João Felix. João Felix is a perfect replacement for Bobby. Absolutely, João Felix.
That would be outstanding.
And again, I think Salah needs a push, and I think I'd be going for Cody Gakpo from PSV for Salah's push. So I do think they need some sort of, I won't say depth, about just a little bit more pushing in that forward line, because they can easily get tired or just out of performance, and they need to kick up the arse, just exactly like other players have had.
Yeah, I think, especially again, we have 5 substitutes now. I think there should be depth at every position. No player should be asked to play every minute of every match, for us to perform at our best level. And in order to get into that heavy metal football that Klopp, loves and espouses, you need energy, and you need guys who will run you to death. And I think with those 5 subs, we need to be very, very, have very good options for them, and that would include forward options including Salah's position. So my shout for that would be Moussa Diaby. I absolutely love him, and another left footer, and he has pace. But Cody Gakpo would be tremendous. I'm not sure if he plays on the right though. That's the one thing. I think we have too many left players who play on the left side, from Diaz, Nunez to Jota, who are more comfortable coming.
If you go on the LFC transfer Twitter page, though, you'll just see about what someone said about Cody Gakpo. I don't know if it's his manager or if it's his own. I haven't really looked at it fully, but he said Liverpool would be a good club for him to go to, and that was his
current manager at PSV.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's on our Twitter page now. If you look it up, and yeah. So
if anyone could throw that in the comments, I'll put it up here on the stream there.
I can't think what it was. It was a quick scan because we got sent it through group chat. It was a quick scan. I had a quick scan. I don't know if it was his owner or his manager, but they said Liverpool is a good place for Cody Gakpo to be going. So yeah, get it up if you can.
Yeah, we need options, that's for sure. So any quality options, and his star seems to be on the rise, absolutely putting in great performances in the Eredivisie as well as the Champions League for PSV. Going back to today's match, and who I think has been our absolute player of the season. I think you know who I'm going with there. Who has saved our butt numerous times.
Alisson Becker.
Just absolutely tremendous. He made quite a number of saves today that any ordinary keeper would just let in. And, he did have that one big, almost huge error where he kind of fell asleep and forgot Harry Kane was chasing him and almost gave that ball up. But he's been absolutely tremendous for us. A couple of words on Alisson, Damon.
Best keeper in the world. Honestly, he could go down as the best Premier League goalkeeper ever. If he continues to do this the next 3-4 seasons, for me, the best keeper. And we've seen some brilliant keepers like your Schmeichel, your Petr Cech, your David Seaman, but he's right up there with them because the amount of times he saves us is ridiculous. We're not talking about being in a relegation or anything like that, but take those points off that he still saves, you could be easily dropping down the table into the bottom half. He's so vital, absolutely vital, especially when we play a high line. I think it wasn't his best game today. He had a brilliant couple of shot stopping, but in terms of the crosses today, he sort of backed out of a couple. Then he went for a couple, but he didn't really get much purchase on them.
He had a couple punch outs, almost knocked somebody out there, right?
Yeah. He nearly cost us a goal a couple of times. He nearly cost us a couple of goals a couple of times, but I'll let him off. He can have a bad game any day of the week as long as it's cost us the game. You know what I'm saying? He's done enough for us in the last few seasons.
He got a little furious there with, especially with that back line. I saw him shouting at Robertson a couple of times, as well as other players for giving those Tottenham players a little too much space to throw those to.
It was the crosses. It was the crosses that were doing us in, really. The crosses, they were just not blocking the crosses at all. They were coming in after one after each other, and that's why Alisson was prone to making mistakes because so many were coming in. You can't get everyone right.
And just dangerous in there. The Tottenham definitely has some size up front, and Kane, Kulusevski, Højbjerg's not a short player. Betancourt is a tall player. They definitely have size there to make things. Perisic is a tall player as well to make things, dangerous there in the box. But apart from his shot stopping and saving, that distribution again, I think he's just top class, better than Ederson. I'm sorry for you Man City fans thinking Ederson's better. No way. Alisson, and stats can prove it, best passing goalkeeper, best distributing goalkeeper in the world, right?
His first time passes out of his hands are just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, how many times we've seen it with Salah? And again today, that long ball over the top. I know it was a mistake from Eric Dyer, but Alisson saw that run straight away. And Salah, it's like Salah and Alisson have such a good telepathic link up. It's just brilliant to watch. And when that chance is on, he will get it. You know what? I think Reina used to do this for Torres as well. From my memory, I think Reina used to do that same ball over the top for Torres. And it's the same again with these two. These two are just brilliant link-up play. And if we can get another player like Salah that has that mindset with Alisson, that link-up with Alisson, we're very dangerous on the counter. Very dangerous.
I think Nunez is almost on that same wavelength because Alisson did try to pick him off a couple of times, and Nunez has that added bonus of being, tall, so he can definitely win a lot.
Yeah, he'll just get involved.
A lot more of those headers, yeah. So, very, very positive things to kind of take from this match. Obviously, first away win on the season, climbing up the table, breaking our 2-game losing streak in the Premier League. We're definitely still way, way off the top spot. We're currently 15 points behind Arsenal from that first place, but making our march to the top 4, that's definitely obviously the number one goal. Unfortunately, for the season is ensuring we stay top 4 because a lot of things are contingent on that. But definite good win, a must win, and one that we needed. Any closing thoughts on today's match before we look forward to our midweek and weekend?
Like I said, mate, it's an absolute needed win. And we can't back it up next week now with a loss or a draw. We need to win again. Take that momentum into the World Cup and just have a rest. We need positivity. We need these wins, and this game, especially today, I think Tottenham needed a humbling. Tottenham fans need a humbling. I've already mentioned expressions. He needs a humbling. He laughs at Liverpool, laughs at other clubs, but Tottenham. Why? How could a Tottenham laugh at anyone? A fake Big Six club. I think Newcastle's going to take over their Big Six because they're not a Big Six club. They're not a big club.
Wow. Yeah, Newcastle's looking really, really dangerous at the moment.
Yeah. And Tottenham are the ones that are coming out. I don't care what anybody says. They're in a false position, Tottenham. I mean, look at what they did midweek. They got a last-minute winner, didn't they? In terms of their group was fucking shit. And they're taking piss out of Liverpool like coming second and stuff. I'm sorry, Tottenham fans, but we could come last in our group and still have a better chance of winning Champions League than you. So don't get me wrong. don't throw Liverpool's name out there in terms of not winning Champions League because you don't know how to win a Champions League. Absolutely not a chance. So
Marseille definitely slipped on the banana peel midweek against Tottenham there.
It was nice to give Tottenham a humbling. It was nice to get an away win, and it was just it was a nice feeling just to survive as well, especially that last 10 minutes where it was all Tottenham. It was just nice to survive. I'm just used to seeing it going in now and just being disappointed like the Leeds game. But it was nice to survive that last 10 minutes and we move and let's get this season under wraps now. Let's get it under control and get back into that top 4.
Yeah, for sure. Definite must win, and we got it, and that's what all we got to walk away from, whether it was 1-0 or in this case a 2-1. All that matters was those 3 points, and we definitely slipped on the banana peel against those bottom teams, and obviously we can't continue doing that. So any win is a win, and I don't care how it comes, but very happy we came out victorious today. It'll allow me to go into this week on a beautiful note. Looking forward to midweek's match against Derby and hopefully another win against Southampton at the weekend. But from me and Damo, I'd like to thank you all for joining today's stream. As always, like, listen, and subscribe, and up the Reds.